Hey guys, so I wanted to do an lab orientation video just in case you're not in both my lecture and lab. So how lab is going to work for this semester is in my class. I'm Kim Subach, by the way. If I don't have you for lecture, we are going to have lab exercises and we're going to have tests on them too. It's not the lab doesn't count as much as the lecture. The lecture is going to count for like 3 credit hours. Lab's only like 1 credit hour. So for the lab, we are going to cover pretty much 2 lab exercises a week and then a test, and then 2 lab exercises a week and then the lab final. So we have 2 lab exercises that we're going to do. All of our lab exercises use Labster, an electronic, like virtual simulation type of software. And so we've got lab safety and evolution that are going to be due this first week. We also have the mandatory attendance quiz, and that mandatory attendance quiz is what's going to use Respond to Lockdown browser and just it's questions on the syllabus, so it's a really easy quiz. And you can take it as many times as you need to. But it's to allow you to get comfortable using Respond to Lockdown browser, using quizzes and that kind of stuff um, on your device at home. So real quick, we'll go over the syllabus, how to get in touch with me, my contact information, that kind of stuff. So that is all right here. Um, Info about the class, instructor information. This is my office phone, but I have a Google Voice number that's in my email signature. This is the email that is my favorite one. Contact me there. You can email me through D2L. You absolutely can, and I do check it. But I don't know that you emailed me through D2L unless I'm literally logged in on my computer. But if you email me, then I will know that you emailed me on my phone if you did the Highlands email. If you want to book an office hours appointment, you absolutely can. So you would click this little link that says book time with Kimberly Subach for 30 minutes, and we can book it between 11 and 2 on Mondays and Wednesdays. If that time doesn't work for you, email me. Let me know. We'll work something out. Um, these are the different things that we'll be talking about in the labs and the simulations of scientific method, instrumentation, data collection, that kind of stuff. The 1012 lab is part of the core impacts. We are at 10-point grading scale. We're going to do 12 lab exercises. So we do 6 in the first half and 6 in the second half. I drop your lowest to lab exercises. So if there is like for some reason that week, like you just spaced and missed the deadline, I don't do late assignments in lab. Like if you miss it the day, that next day a zero is going to go in for it. And I don't offer any makeups on the lab exercises, but I drop two. I drop two. So if for some reason you completely drop the ball that week and miss both lab exercises, that's okay because I built in 2 drops for you and you'd still can make 100 in the class. So that's how I'm going to do the lab exercises. You got 12 of them. I take your best 10. Take your best 10. The first lab exercises for 6 are going to be covered in the lab midterm. The questions come directly verbatim from Labster. So you can go back and redo those lab exercises as many times as you want, but the grade that goes in the grade book is your very first time. The lab final will be just like the lab midterm. It's going to have 50 questions, and they're going to pull directly from Labster for those 50 questions. And so together we got 60% of the classes, lab exercises, 20% for the lab midterm, and another 20% for the lab final. Exams are timed. It will give you 75 minutes to do the test, and it's going to automatically submit like we would in a regular class. These are the different lab exercises that we've got. So the very first week is lab safety and evolution. Then we're going to get into all the fun, like I feel like the fun stuff is the living stuff, all the fun stuff. So we're going to cover bacteria and other guys. And then we get into the system. So we'll cover bacteria, viruses, plants, animals. Then we get into like a little bit of anatomy and physiology in lectures. So we're covering that with the thermoregulation and the cardiorespiratory lab. And also immunology, which is going to be split, but it's after midterm. It's after midterm. So that next one is lab 7, and that's going to be in the next section after midterm. And then we'll do reproduction. So we got embryology. Then we have our ecology unit stuff. So that's going to cover our eutrophication all the way through climate change. And you can see the dates for all of these. They're here. They're also built into D2L2 with their dates. Yeah, so that's the syllabus. Let's go to the content. We're going to have the start here like we do in lecture, and it's got the same tips and tricks that I give everybody, lecture, lab, first class, second class, sequence, whatever it is. I'm still going to give you the tips and tricks for that. So that's here. And then we got the course schedule, which you just saw in the syllabus, but I like to have it in multiple places because I told y'all time management is really important. Like having everything clear and upfront on day one is the best way to plan and be successful in class. So those are there. And then here are the links for all of the lab exercises. That is the majority of your class grade is 60% are just doing these. So the way to do Labster, don't like go to Labster and try and like type that in. Just go right here. You just click it and it's going to pull it up and you're just going to go right in and you're just going to do that exercise. Don't worry about this one that says dashboard, that's just for me. That's just for me. That just lets me know who logged in, what grade they got, all that's good stuff. So the dashboard's for me. Don't worry about that. Lab safety is your first one. And then you can see it's going to have that little, play button and you're going to click play and it will start to load. And you will just dive on into the simulation. So sometimes you might get stuck. And if that happens, I tend to like back out. And also in the lab simulations too, they're going to have a little tablet that pops up. Use the tablet, love the tablet. The tablet has the theory. So if you're getting a question wrong and you're like, I don't know why this question is wrong, go to the tablet, look at the theory because the theory is going to give you all the nitty-gritty details on the content of that exercise. And that's going to help you through and score your best because you want to score really well in your lab exercises to make an A in this class. So that's really the bulk of this lab. It's really not too complicated. Get your lab exercises done on time. Some of them are as little as like 19 minutes. So they are definitely doable to get two of them done each week. You can do this. Everyone's going to have a great time. The lab exercises are fun. Like I've done all of these simulations. They're not bad. But if you need anything, please reach out. You can email me at my Highlands or you can text me. Thanks, guys.